My name's Nathan, and I want to remind you why you're here this morning. Why we gather every first day of the week together. It's because somewhere along the road, maybe for you it was 50 years ago, maybe for you it was about a couple days ago, but somewhere along the road, you got disturbed by God. God started shuffling your papers around. God started intervening. God started doing stuff you didn't expect him to. God started rearranging the furniture of your heart, and you got captivated by that. You got intrigued by that. You, like millions of other people for thousands of years before you, kind of recognized a hunger, essentially a dissatisfaction with the way things are and were, and you recognized that longing for something more. And so we gather today ultimately in response to that longing. You and I both come together because ultimately, and I'm reminding you of this because life is crazy, right? This morning was nuts, right? Some of us have been here since 7 o'clock in the morning. We've been setting things up, and I'm reminding you that ultimately the reason you're here is because something happened to you, and you're responding to that. Somewhere along the road, Jesus showed up. He's with you the whole time, but you didn't recognize him for years. And then something happened and the scales came off, and something about this Nazarene Jewish rabbi that lived 2,000 years ago and his teachings just grabbed you, and you started to become captivated by him. And his offer for grace for the past and grace for the present and grace for the future, you're like, I want that. And you jumped on board with that. And maybe it's been a really rugged journey for you, and maybe it's been a wholehearted and you're doing really well, but somewhere, sometime along the line you said, this whole idea of resurrection, that Jesus could overcome death in the grave and that I could experience my own personal resurrection, this captivated you. This captivated me. This idea that there's something more powerful than sickness, that there's something that's more powerful than evil plots to destroy people, that there's something that's more powerful than death itself. You're like, I'm in on that. Please tell me more about that. And so I'm going to come together with other people who are following this Jesus. That's why we're here today. And yeah, you could worship Jesus on the golf course this morning or in a golf cart. Some of you maybe did. That's funny. On your way to church in a golf cart. That's a blend of American society right there. Isn't that incredible? It looks like I'm flaking out on church, but I'm going to church actually in my golf cart. Right? Yeah, you can worship God on the beach. You can worship God in your house. But somewhere along the line, you recognize that the teachings of Jesus ultimately cannot be obeyed solo. You must share life with people. You have to forgive someone. You have to serve someone, right? You got to have somebody to love. You got to have somebody to cry with, somebody to rejoice with. Christianity is essentially a communal religion, and so anybody who's going to really experience the fullness of this life that Jesus is talking about must commit to a community of people and say, I am in. Hell or high water, not for a couple weeks, but for years and years, I'm going to share life with a small group of people, and we're going to experience the fullness of God together. And that's why we're here. That's why we showed up at the same place at the same time versus doing our own thing whenever it's convenient. That's why we accepted the inconvenience of a gathering where we have to drive and get dressed and get the kids all ready and all that stuff. Because we've become captivated by the idea that maybe there's something more than just a personal religious spirituality, but maybe if I actually submit my life to a greater pattern, a tradition of thousands of years of historical wealth, maybe something here will connect with me that will make a difference, and it's become something that we've decided we want to be a part of. This is not about consuming something. This is about being part of a family. Okay, this is not spiritual entertainment. This is, I'm here to be changed. Disrupt me. Make me uncomfortable and comfort me. Because I've been disturbed, and I got something about Jesus that I can't let go of. And I don't really like it half the time, but community is important to me, and somehow we got to make sure that this works all together. So I'm just here to say we need to be reminded, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in all of the details that it's just good to remember, why did I come here today in the first place? Right? So welcome. I'm so glad you're here at Emmaus.